Saturday before then, so you would have seen me if you went down there. Okay, anyway, on to the first game. I'm going to turn that light down after this, and I decided today that my strategy is to go back to basics. So you might be thinking, what does that mean? So I thought I would play today the openings that I played when I was a kid. So my first ever openings, just give it a little go. So that's the English opening, which I'm playing now, the French defense, and the Dutch. Now my opponent's playing a good system here, and trying to get the knight into this square kind of makes quite a lot of sense, doesn't it, actually? I guess we continue with this. Good play so far from my opponent. And that knight is very good, so I suppose we want to exchange it off, do we? Probably about an even position, this. I'll have to look at my chessball course to see how I play this. Okay, well, I'm happy to get rid of this knight now. Do I go on pass on first? Let's do that. Let's open it up, mainly for my bishop. And interesting position. I'm just sort of never sure how to play these positions, I'll be honest, even though I've played them a lot of my life. And I'm thinking now, maybe I want to get my knight into this square. So maybe I want to get, yeah, okay, well, I'm definitely going to play this now because my opponent's put her queen on this square. And after this, my opponent's probably going to have to swap that one off. And we get many exchanges. I'm going to get rid of that knight because it seems very strong. And who does this position favour? I kind of think it should favour me because I've got e5 now, right? And this is a very handy move to play. If that pawn is captured, I move on with a check. And if it's not captured, my pawn becomes very strong. So I think just pushing on is very tempting here, isn't it? Let's just do that because I've got this pawn now for the rest of the match in my opponent's half. So my opponent's aiming to exchange queens, which makes some sense. And she's playing again very well here. How do we deal with this one? I'm thinking of trying to come in here maybe and take that pawn. But also, if I can move this pawn up the board, I get some chances. My opponent, on the other hand, is trying to come around here, and she's offering me a draw, which I find a bit insulting, to be honest. Why are you offering me a draw? A couple of words spring to mind with that draw offer, and you probably don't want to hear what the words are that I'm thinking at this moment in time. And then I probably take the draw. Okay, I've got to be careful, of course. Because this rook is coming in, so I'm going to go here, but we don't want to draw. There's no point going for draws, is there? But I've got to be very careful here. Actually, I'm not sure how much I like my position. My opponent is quite active. Maybe my queen has gone a little bit too far away. Another good move from my opponent there. Can I bring this one? I've got to get I think I put my queen on the wrong square, didn't I? Maybe I come back and then come over here, but then the queen comes here and I could get mated. Let's see. Got to move quicker. I've got rook g1 to defend, and I've still got this pawn. So, if I can, in the long term, I should be winning this. But my opponent, again, playing a good move there, it seems. Now, I might have to give up this pawn. Or do I come in? It's a tricky position, this. I'm going to go here and try to... Oh, dear, I don't know about this move. Because now the rook comes in here. I probably should have taken a bloody draw. That draw put me off. That's my excuse. Okay. I'm very happy that my opponent didn't move the other rook into the position. That was very scary. And I've got to play here. And I think I'm just about defending. But had the other rook come in, I would have been very scared. Maybe that was winning, actually. Maybe that was a winning idea. And this is this one's probably my next idea, right? Now, she can't go rook c1. I mean, I might be able to get away with taking that pawn, but I'm a little bit worried about moving my pieces too far forwards as well. So she's grabbed that pawn. Okay. Now I have to create counterplay, so let's push. I guess I have to create counterplay. Maybe that was the time to take that pawn, but okay. Now, we're going to get behind that pawn and try to get into the position. Maybe something like rook c5 is best. Okay, so she's gone back, so we will now dive in. If I get this check in, it's probably game over. Oh, my opponent has found a way to try and draw. Oh no, but I've got this check covering this square. Does this stop the perpetual check? Because my opponent wanted to get a perpetual check with the queen coming in, but I'm not sure she can now. I might be able to defend against the perpetual check. I thought that was going to be a draw for a second. I still have to be very careful because my king is exposed, but she wanted to go check and get a draw by checking on these three squares. And my king should be kind of safe coming back to h1 now. Let's see. I've always got rook g2 to stop any checks, and my d pawn is getting ready to come. Okay, so she's trying to swap queens off, and I think we can safely do that. Our pawns are looking pretty damn scary now, and I think that's a game winner, isn't it? We can just go here anyway, and there we go. Woohoo! That's what you get for your draw offer. That's what you get. I'm just going to see if I can get rid of this strong light in my face now, so bear with me. Let's see if I can get some more natural light in the place. Is that fuzzy now? That seems alright, doesn't it? That's a bit of a fuzzy camera. I mean, my opponent played well there, I have to say. She played much higher than her rating. But maybe I was always doing... I don't know, there was one moment when I was in a little bit worried. We'll have a quick look, shall we, at the game. And again, hello to everyone who is joining in today. Dr. Harry Thompson, thank you very much for the subbing. That's always very nice. And look at that, my accuracy level was pretty bad there. Definitely need the coffee here. Let me get my coffee in now. A win's a win. So I was losing probably a very crafty draw offer from my opponent. So what was the win here? So this is a blunder. And I can just take here. Because the queen comes in. My words, how simple is that? Coffee, man. So I could have just taken this rook. And after this one, my queen comes in with checkmate. Bishop here, check, and checkmate next move. That was a bit crappy, wasn't it? But when I played queen here, I'm saying, like, oh my god. You know what it was? I think it was the draw offer. My opponent played rook here, which is apparently a very bad move, and I should have come forwards. And then offered me a draw, and I think that put me off a little bit. And here, well, I suddenly realised, I think my opponent missed this chance. Could she have done this? No, that seems to lose. Oh, because I can just take on c1, of course. So where did my opponent miss a win? Did my opponent miss a win somewhere? It says here there was a win. So in this position, I thought I was always doing okay. But now my opponent missed a win. Did she? Where did she miss a win? Let's make sure the next game hasn't started. It has. Okay. Who cares? We'll get on to the next game. So remember, I'm sticking to my openings today. My first ever opening. So I'm playing the English opening as white. I'm playing the Dutch. I love the Dutch as black. And the French defense against e4. So we're getting a Dutch opening here. And my normal idea is to try and checkmate them on the king side with these moves. Just throw those buggers over there, shall we, old boy? Let's bring him in. So that's what we're going to try to do. Hello, Chris, in the chat. I haven't seen you for ages. Hope you're okay, mate. I got back from Norway yesterday. Been sleeping since, but I thought it was time to get up. But yeah, it's been a while since we had a meet up, so hopefully soon. But I hope you're doing all right, Chris. Okay, so I think E3 is the best move to play here, generally, because if my opponent doesn't play E3, I'm definitely going to go F4, and the attack is very, very strong. King U Baba says, how to play against you? I'm on LiChess. You probably don't play against me, to be honest. This is chess.com, and when I'm on LiChess, you may play against me, you may not, who knows. But I'll be honest, I'm in no rush to play against you. Just being honest, you know. Unless there's a really good reason. I kind of hate chess anyway. No, I don't. I love it. Okay. Right, so I'm going to take this one off. We're going to flick this one in, get rid of the defender of the bishop. And I'm going to try and move my knight around this way. And this is the standard way to defend my only weakness, c7. And now we're going to try to continue with this knight maneuver at the right time. Now if I go here, the problem is, I think I'm going to swing my rook, by the way. I mean, my position is very promising, but if I go here, my opponent can take and bring the knight in. And if I go here, my opponent can take and bring the knight in. But I'm going to play this. This is very double-edged because I'm giving up. I mean, I'm just trying to checkmate. But my opponent can now get the knight in if he so wishes, which he doesn't. Still a very double-edged position. I'm going to put the rook here. And I don't know precisely who's better. If I take the knight, has to take with the bishop, and then the queen will come in here, right? Kind of feel this rook idea was wrong. I had a lovely position, and I feel that maybe that wasn't the way to go. Okay, but let's keep throwing pieces at my opponent's king. Now if bishop takes here, knight g4, and that's where I want to get my knight. And I want to maybe push the pawn forward. So I just got to go for checkmate here. I haven't really got anything else. This is also the idea. Get rid of the knight. Okay. Now bishop takes here is indeed possible, but what if I take here? Isn't this just very strong? What am I missing? This was obviously my idea. Knight g1. Only move. Seems very dodgy for my opponent, but queen here. Is it just about working this? The king can come out here. Oh man. Kind of feels like this shouldn't be working, but well, I don't have any choice. I've got to go here. And now I have the opportunity to take that one or play for more with knight g4. King here, check, king g4. I think my opponent's king is just getting out of this position. So I have to take here, but then I'm just going to be worse. I don't know, this doesn't feel like it's deserved. It never is when we check here, check, king here. Is there nothing there? Bishop g5. Oh, it seems like it's so dangerous for my opponent. I can't see it. Annoying because there probably was something there, but with my time situation, I couldn't see it. So I'm playing for this one just because I needed a bit more time. I couldn't calculate that variation in time. And I've gone for something a bit more. But now the rook comes here. And I've put my queen on a rather silly square. I want to get my bishop to d6. If I get that in, I'm okay. Yeah, so I probably did miss something. rather annoyingly there. There probably was something stronger. Now my opponent's going for the ending, okay, which I think we have to go. Are we a pawn down? I don't think we are. We have to go for this one. I don't think it's that bad at all, because I stopped that e-pawn from coming for the time being. Strange situation, this one, right? Strange position. Now let's just... Who's better here? Who is better in this? This is a bit annoying. Gotta watch this pawn and this pawn in a lot of endings. Use that king. Now d6 seems to be... Can we or should we be swapping off the rooks here? I don't know. Time! I don't know about this one. Probably shouldn't be swapping the rooks off either. But my king is very quick. But this pawn is also very quick. Yeah, that knight, I shouldn't have swapped the rooks off. Getting a bit frustrated the way I'm playing this one. Because, you know, when you play some moves and you know you could be playing better moves. But that was a strange idea of my opponent. And I do have some of my own pawns here, which are starting to come up the board. And here I'm just going to push these guys to kingdom come. Why not? And this should be winning. So it looks like we managed to outdo our opponent in the ending here. I might just take that knight off. Let's just keep it really simple and stop any chances my opponent has. And, well, I mean, resigning, as long as I do not stalemate. This is not stalemate. Is a good idea. Got there in the end. That was a bit tough, but I'm very interested to have a look at that game. Because I'm sure I get that kind of attack a lot. And I definitely went wrong with the attack. Probably like even at some stage. Probably even at some I mean like at some stage. What I'm talking about. I don't think I'm ever that much worse. And I say that, and look, I'm completely losing apparently around here. Well, actually, it was rookie free. It was a horrible move, wasn't it? And around here, I'm completely winning. So what? Yeah, this is okay. So what was the win? Knight 8. I should just go G5, should I? I was thinking that G5 is just winning. Okay. Yeah. Why didn't I play G5? Then I've got everything I want, right? Not a brilliant game, but anyway. Chris, did I see you were playing somewhere? Where are you playing, Chris? I missed that message. Sorry. I'm actually in October. I'm actually playing in Austria, which I'm looking forward to. So I missed your message, Chris. Anyway, but I don't know if you're European Club Cup. So yeah, of course, if I just go G5 here, this is just very easily winning. Maybe this rook maneuver is okay, but the computer doesn't like it. The computer thinks I should continue with my knight idea. So if I ever get this again, maybe this... I was worried about the knight coming here, but I probably don't have to be. If I get one more move in, I'm probably just winning here because the attack is too strong. And going with the computer suggestion of this, if I get this move in, I've got a ginormous attack, and my opponent can't play here because H2 is just too weak. So I still certainly need some waking up here, and the point is this move is probably just winning. And I kind of know this idea already, so it's a bit silly. And the point is after this we can just sacrifice here, and my opponent's king becomes too weak. So that was rather silly. And then later on, well, here the computer Yeah, I was worried about rook b3. I'm certainly gone wrong here. And the other line that was very interesting, which I was trying to work out, but when I got into this position, it kind of looked like I should be winning, but I couldn't see it. And the other line I was trying to work out here, guys, was what happens if I take on f1, sorry, go here. Because this looks very dangerous for my opponent, so I'm just keep checking that the next game hasn't started. And the point is, after here, I can go check, and I bring my opponent's king out into the open, but I couldn't see a way to do anything here because my opponent's king runs away. For example, if I check, my opponent's king runs here, and I thought this wasn't working, and I'm glad I didn't play this because the computer also agrees it's not working. Okay, into the next game. So we're going to get another Dutch in. Why do I find Entitled Tuesday, this happens to me a lot, right? When I'm playing these top players, I often get a double black. Give me the white pieces. So I'm already getting my moaning in, but I love the Dutch, so it's okay. Okay, so my opponent's played this weird a3 move, and I think I'm going to mix it up by very interesting move there. My opponent might want to sacrifice. Okay, he's going this, and this is a little bit strange to me because I think I wanted to play h3 anyway. And now, if I can get e5 in, I'm going to be very happy with myself. My opponent's sort of freestyling here, which is very dangerous to do against the Dutch. I mean, I don't know why my opponent thought that forcing me to play this move is a weakness. This is indeed the Christmas tree variation. Because I thought if my opponent's wasted a move with a3, I think that's a little bit of a move waste, then why not? Now, I think d5 has to be played, but I can even drop my knight back here or try to play e5 anyway. And okay, so castling here, wowzers. And now I'm getting drawn to e5, which would allow this knight to come in. This is getting very sharp. The other thing, okay, I've got to play this. I could play much slower, which is probably all right, but why not take the opportunity to do such a move? Now, knight here. I'm going to I think I'll just castle now, right? Oh, hang a minute. Am I worried about the knight coming in there and then? I'm going to castle kingside because we like a bit of opposite side castling. It leads to very exciting positions. And yes, my opponent has control of this. And yes, I thought this move would be played. But in these positions, the knight is very good on f7. I could have tried to go venturous, no I couldn't because the queen's guarding it. But I know from experience the knight's very good on this square, and especially if it gets to that square. So my opponent is trying to swap the queens off. Now, swapping queens is probably very nice because I got f4. And I'm not going to try and do anything, too many fireworks, because simple is good. And now, do I have to watch out for the knight coming here? No, because I can always just take that knight. And now I'd love to get rid of my opponent's two active pieces. So let's start getting these boys into the game. And I really like my position at this moment in time. My knight jumps out. My opponent's pieces are positionally terrible. And I can start to have some fun myself now with the rook eventually coming here. Now, do I give this bishop by bishop here, takes, check, king here, or do we allow this move to be played? I don't think we want to give up this pawn at the moment, but I do want to rush and get some rooks into this position. So okay, so let's get that rook in. But now I'm thinking this: why have I allowed my opponent's king to go this way? That was seemingly a bit strange of me to do that. I could have stopped that one. This might have even been a little bit... I'm still better though, so let's look on the positives. Now, I can grab this one, but that bishop is so bad, I'd rather not grab that one currently. And I'm gonna go here for now. 2 threats maybe on the board. 3 threats if you include this one. Very tied up is again my opponent here. Knight e1 is the only move I can see that keeps my opponent's position together. Now here, I was thinking we just do this now. Now, are we worried about... We could come back. I think we come back now, right? Because we don't want to allow a check when my bishop on f5 will be attacked. This makes much more sense because there's not a check here. If my king was on this square, that would be check. And we're now going to try and do that. That's the way we're going to rock and roll. That's the way we're going to rock and roll. Oh yeah, baby. Give me a Dutch. Give me a Dutch and I will give you some love. Good shit. That's some good shit there. Good shit. Oh. Well, it looked like I had a very good position there. Just don't, you know, don't mess with me in the Dutch, man. You mess with me, you mess with my Dutch, you mess with my family. So, it's alright. We're actually on a good score. Wow, wow. We're actually on a good score. Can you Adam and Eve it? Okay, and again, hello to everyone in chat. Thank you for the kind comments. We've got 8 rounds to go, so we're only just started. We started strong for a change. Doesn't normally happen, but we've got to keep it up. And I think that game was all right. I think it was okay. I'm waking up a little bit. The coffee is kicking my ass, and it's doing a damn good job. Let's have a little look at that one, shall we? I don't think I'm playing amazing though. I probably could have played that game better. I'm just keeping it. Look, 83%. And the thing is, there, I'm always a little bit better because I played the Dutch, right? And when you play the Dutch, you're always going to be better. And my opponent is losing a lot of pieces at the end. Hence why he resigned. But that was pretty smooth. I wonder why it was... Okay, where did I go wrong? The computer's been a little bit harsh, only giving me that. And what does it say here? It says I should go e5 straight away. Yeah, I don't know why I brought my knight out first. The computer has a point there. Why don't I just push in the centre? And I'm certainly better in these positions always. But when we get to this kind of structure... for a start, I mean, the computer does recommend I don't exchange queens, and in actual fact, that's probably wise. But I saw this idea, which the computer doesn't like. But have a look at this bishop. How can the computer think this is not a... Look at that bishop on h2. It's such a bad piece. And you often get this when you play against the London system. You get that bishop tucked out the way over there. And my next move, I wanted... Yeah, maybe I should be just playing this. But wait, you know what? When you see a simple move, that is good. And this move, look, is simple because I don't sacrifice a pawn. And I'm just trying to play against these pieces. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. And look at that knight. And now I wanted to play bishop f5. But I didn't want to allow this one. The computer says it's the best move. See, this is where I often don't calculate as... Well, I don't calculate as well as the top players in this. But... Here, the computer says I can probably win by playing this very clever move, bishop e6, coming in here. But I didn't really want to sacrifice a pawn, so that's why I didn't go for that one. And I guess what I played was all right anyway. I've still got a big advantage. This is safer. And now this move is good. And my opponent started to play badly here. This was excellent, really. But after here... Okay, the computer doesn't like this. How does it defend? Bishop c2. But it's still a lot worse, right? And this is now... Yeah, this is now... I don't think that was a brilliant move. That was a bloody obvious move to be, you know, not brilliant by any means. Quite obvious, yeah? This was a brilliant move because I don't fall for this one. But as soon as you see this pin, it's quite easy to play because we've got rook d8 applying the pressure, knight f2 applying the pressure, and everything is attacking this guy here, right? So it's not so hard to see that. Okay, let's have a look at the tournament scores, shall we, while we get a chance. And my name still doesn't appear on the first page. Okay, let's do a refresh. Come on, reload. I want to see my name up there. Top 10 for once in my life. We've got a long way to go. Let's just... This is where I get nervous and start playing badly. Okay, but I'm still not on the top page. Wah, wah, wah. Because you are low rated. I know I'm low rated. Okay, do we have to scroll down? Oh, look at this. I'm still not on the top page. Still, there we are. Okay. Well, we just have to keep winning, won't we? That's the only way to do it, I think. We have to keep winning. Oh God, I'm playing Gwaine Jones. Okay. Now, my fellow Englishman. Gwaine is a fantastic player. And I said I was going to play the English, so why am I playing this? I don't know. He normally loves playing this one. Now, do we go for the Harry attack? Or what else do we have up our sleeve? I think we're going to go... Oh, he has... I don't know. His theory is so much... Okay, I'm going to play another line. I maybe could have played the Harry attack, but let's go for this, and I'm going to play Knight E2. This is a line I play quite often. Just going to see what he does. I go here in H4 because I want to. Gwaine's theory is so much better than mine. Well, he's a better player than me, but his theory is very, very good. Now, how do we stop this one? H4 or H3? Or do I just move my bishop and ignore this? I think I'm just going to move my bishop and ignore this H-pawn. He's got his H-pawn coming first. I'm just going to try to bring the knight back if he harasses it. Keep it simple. And I'm hoping to play G4. This is why I've played this particular line. Wow, what a move over there by Gwaine. Okay, we'll have to take that one. Gwaine is an extremely aggressive player who loves getting the initiative. Maybe this is still some of his weird preparation. Now, can we... Okay, I'm going to have to take that one. And I hate giving Gwaine the initiative, but he's such a good attacker. But oh well. Now, do we take... Let's take that one. I just want to get castled now, so let's do that. Bring my pieces into the game, get castled. And Gwaine keeps coming on now. Now, do I have to take that or move forwards? Let's move forwards and castle. And we got a fairly standard, like, Benko gambit then. And as I've said before, I prefer gambiting pawns than going pawns up. But I'm just, at the moment, be happy to get castle. Now, do I go 2 squares or 1 square? I feel 1 square. So my first thing in this game is just get castled. Just get castled. Okay, let's do that. Let's get castled. And now I could consider taking here, but something with knight c4 maybe seems sensible. Or do I bring the queen out here? Then his knight will come in here. Gwaine's such a tricky player. Knight c4 takes, and his knight comes in here and he frees up his pieces. Queen here. Okay, let's go queen here. I'm a bit worried about this knight finding a way in because my queen's lost a bit control, and of course Gwaine has done that immediately. But we will try to just keep control at the moment as much as we possibly can. Now, what to take with here? Pawn, or do we exchange off? I don't know. I kind of don't want to open this bishop up straight away. So we will take this way. But if I move my knight, has he got anything on the back rank? He is threatening some stuff on the back rank now. If I move forwards. I want to go knight here, but then I get back spanked. This is what I mean. He's such a tricky guy, Gwaine. Such a tricky guy. So I'm just going to play there for now. Just got to keep trying to deal with all these threats and get a bit short time as well. And I want to play rook b1 next, so his knight has to go away. Got to keep trying to defend all his ideas. If I move that knight, got to watch out for my back rank. g4 and trying to take this pawn is not stupid. But let's put the question on to Gwaine, what he's going to do now. Would he play... Gwaine is just fighting... He finds tricks after tricks. Okay, now he wants to come in here. I can't take that one because my back rank. So he keeps the pressure up. Nice move. Nice move from Gar. His knight is now coming in. That's scary. Okay, I'm going to take here. I need to play quicker, but now the bishop come out. Still, I mean, according to the computer, I'm sure my position is good, but my king is always a little bit weak. I've covered the back rank for now, but my light square's not good. Oh shit, I've just fallen for the check and I can resign. You see, this is how tricky it is. Ah, what an idiot. What an idiot. That was such a simple tactic. But you've got to be so on guard when you're just playing that. That was really stupid. Gwaine says sorry. I don't think he's that sorry. He played well. He kept the pressure up. But why did I play this move? And as soon as I played it, I knew it was a blunder. So that was very silly. But maybe this position is not so easy now, actually. Maybe this is not so easy. Because G5 is a bit tricky. So that was... Bishop F4 is not a good move here. I should be doing well here, but Bishop F4 is not good. Something like Bishop E3. Why didn't I just do here? This is a much better move, and I'm probably just a lot better here. This was just a blunder. You know, in the end, I do have these two pawns, right? So now I can just come here. So putting the bishop on F4 is a really terrible move in the position. So that was a bit frustrating. There. Let's see. Let's have a little review. Okay, so I'm a little bit annoyed the way I played that one because I was doing all right for quite a while. But Gwaine, as you can see, did play very well. But I mean, I think I also played pretty well there. And you can see I do just have a nice simple pawn advantage here. But I just played this horrible blunder. So it's annoying when you blunder. Blunders is always a bit of a... It's always a bit of an annoying way to lose a game. So, okay, so where around here, yeah, Bishop F4, as we know, is a horrible blunder. So if I just play Bishop E3, I think this is a better move to play. And this probably keeps me, yeah, as a nice... I think I've basically consolidated my extra pawn now. And I can start putting my bishop into the middle and start pushing my pawns. This would be very good winning chances. Especially in a long play game, but in blitz, it's always very hard when you got this thing around your king. And now bishop f4, and after this, maybe I have to be very careful here because there's two threats. Hello, Oliver Nee, and anyone else who's joined the chat. There's two threats. One of them is g5, winning a piece, and I played this far too quickly. And as soon as I played it, I'm just like, oh god. And the problem is, obviously, after this, I'm just going to be a queen down, and it's even worse than that. So there's no point playing on here. But the only way to defend in this position would have been to play rook d3 when I'm still in the game. But it's just not just that little blunder, annoying blunder there from me. So silly me to blunder as such. But I'm interested in the opening. I mean. I would prefer to be black in these kind of games, to be honest, because it feels like black has, even though it's a pawn down, all the initiative, and I don't like playing without the initiative. So I should have probably just stuck to what I was saying. As soon as I didn't go against my word, I said I was going to play the English opening all day today, but as soon as I stopped playing the English opening, then things went bad. Well, CJ's saying, how about rook e1 instead of bishop f4? Yeah, but I mean bishop e3 was just good, yeah. I mean, this is just a good move. I mean, rook e1 is fine. As long as I don't blunder my queen, it's okay. I mean, as soon as you blunder your queen, it's not okay, is it? This is obviously a good move as well. There's many good moves there. But I just felt like I didn't want to allow his queen to get active. This way his queen is still a little bit annoying. It's okay for me, this. I'm still a pawn up, but as long as I don't blunder my queen. But if I play it this way, I stop his queen getting active. So this seems like a better way to control the position. And look, I mean, the game, this kind of thing is just lovely for me, right? b4, look at those guys. They should just win this one, right? So it's a little bit annoying not to to allow this one, but I should. I mean, the English opening, I think I'd have been more comfortable playing, because unless you know a lot of theory in the King's Indian defence, it's in blitz. The King's Indian defence is a very good opening for black, I think, generally, because black gets quite a nice attack and gets the attacking chances. So why didn't I stick to the English? Okay, but we're still on 3 out of 4, so it's not the end of the world. Just got to try to not blunder queens. This is a damn good idea. Don't blunder your queens away. Yeah, and we'll go back to playing our proper openings now. The French defence, the Dutch, and the English opening are our first loves. We should have done that in this game. And let's hope Gwen goes on to have a good tournament as well, because he is a fellow Englishman and a very good chess player. And there's a little break now until the next round, round 5. We'd love to come in the top 10, but we're going to have to now get another run of wins going. I mean, there's roughly 300 players before the events, lots of Grandmasters. You can see some really big names at the top here. So we just have to get another run going. So like I say, you kind of break this tournament down into 3 sections. There's rounds 1, it's 11 rounds. There's rounds 1 to 4. Then you have a little break where they find any cheaters. And then there's rounds 5 to 8, so the next 4 rounds. So then I just got to, the way I like looking at it is you concentrate on 4 rounds at a time. So the next 4 rounds important. And if we can have a good next 4 rounds, then you've only got 3 rounds at the end then left. So I like, you know, little break it rounds. So come on, let's have a good next 4 rounds. Zam R Max, your colossal head is ellipsing your little score. You seem like a gentleman, don't you, sir? Well, I mean, for a start, I do have a big head. Whenever I try to put on helmets, you know, I normally my head doesn't fit into the helmets. But my score 3 out of 4. I don't know if you could say that's a little score. Maybe you need to go back to math school, or just stop being a cock. It's also a good idea. I don't think we really like cocks in the chat, do we? There's plenty of them out there, plenty of idiots out there, but not the place. We've got a nice little group on GingerGM, so if you do act like an idiot, then maybe best to go away. I feel maybe best to go away. But let's see if you stop being an idiot. We'll give you a chance. If you're born an idiot, then you have to learn, don't you? It's harder for some than others. Because please explain what tie breaks are. You know that Google is very good actually. Basically, Mosiclio something tiers. If you wanna get something explained to you, then I do recommend Google is pretty good. You know, just maybe Google that same expression, and it will give you an answer. Basically, there you go. Use Google. Google it. Google it. Chris Baker, Dresden is the European over 50s. Oh, you're playing in the veterans now, Chris, an over 65 team. Okay, oh, nice one, Chris. Well, that should be fun. I've been to Dresden for the European Individual Championships. And all I remember is really, well, I mean, the city was quite interesting because obviously Dresden, during the war, as I'm sure you're aware, was bombed quite intensively. So, but it's a big old city. But my main memories of Dresden are the Irish bar. I basically found an Irish bar there, Chris, which I think I spent most of my nights at, and it was a good little Irish bar. There's lots of lovely pubs around there, so I'm sure you have a great time over there, Chris. Good luck, and you'll be able to play in the over 60. God, I didn't realise you were getting. Well, I was going to say that old, Chris. That's a bit rude, isn't it? But well, good luck over there. Hope you have a good time. I'm sure you will. Mr. Tears, I'm trying to wonder how I pronounce your name. Mauricio Porcino's Tears. Is he a football player or something? Probably. I don't really follow football. I'm typing on our on-screen keyboard. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. That's very nice of you to share that information. Thank you very much. Poor Itinho's tears. Okay, is he a football player? I don't know. Possibly. ShreksGonGiveItToYa, did you visit the Good Night pub this time in Norway? I did. I went there. I went when I was over in Norway. I was there on the first Saturday, so like about a week and a half ago. I go down the Good Night chess pub. So I was down there about a week and a half ago, and it was great. I had a great time down there. They got a great. This is like when I'm working over in Norway for doing a commentary on the Champions Chess Tour. I always go to this one pub called the Good Night Chess Pub, and it's a chess pub. Bloody excellent. Right near the centre of Oslo, and it was good. They got the best selection of beer I think I've seen anywhere. They got something like 400 different beers. It's amazing. So we did a good run through of most of those beers. It was nice. I see it's someone's birthday as well. So happy birthday to Pieng Kyong. Happy birthday. Don't make me pronounce it. I'm so bad at that. So yeah, I was down the Good Night pub and it was really good actually. I mean, okay, back to the French. Let's concentrate on the game. So we need to rebounce in this game. Now I could also play the hippo, but I did say I was going to stick with it. Okay, so we're going to go. This is now transposes into what we call the King's. Basically, the King's Indian attack kind of is what my opponent's playing. It's a bit like the King's Indian defense, which Gwen played, but the other way round. And this is actually quite a standard idea here. When I've got to watch out for this pawn coming to this square. Maybe my opponent can play that now. And my opponent has sacrificed the pawn here. So I've got to be a little bit careful already. Now this move makes a lot of sense. But is the knight coming in here? And am I just losing against that? Knight g6. It looks bloody scary this already actually. So do I have to play some move like h6? I think I've fallen into some quite dangerous opening prep here. Knight here, knight here, knight g6, and I just feel I'm going to get smashed with knight f7. h6 taking here also looks really scary. So how do I defend here? Pawn here, knight here. This is, I've really fallen into some... Okay, I'm going to have to try this one. But again, I'm defending, which is certainly not my forte. I'd love to get castled somewhere, but maybe just pawn takes pawn is good. If the knight comes in here, I'm going to move my knight to this square and try to defend like that. I don't see any other choice except for this move. And got to hope to not get checkmated here, which is very, again, dangerous with this kind of move coming in. So I've really fallen into some very scary stuff here. I'll have to look at this knight h3. Quite a rare move, but I've been horribly tricked here, it seems, in the start of this game. I'm now just trying to think of a way to survive. Very scary, this. Don't like it at all. Bishop here. Oh, it looks horrible, this. Don't like my position. Do not like it. My king is trapped horrendously here. I can't castle kingside. It's just gone horribly wrong. Yeah, this is just disgusting position. I mean, okay, what else to play? I don't like this move because again it's my king's safety, but I need to develop, and I want to, well, it doesn't even stop the knight coming here. My one idea is if I can castle queenside. If I go h6, I was inviting this one, but this, I'm still trying to defend. Does my knight now come in? Problem is I'm spending a lot of time trying to defend, find moves that just don't lose on the spot, and I can't castle after my opponent puts the bishop here. I'd love to swap the queens off when you're defending, swapping the queens off, but bishop g5 scares me, because then I can never castle, and of course my opponent has found this move, and now knight coming in here scares me, and again I can't castle in this position. So my opponent has played a very good aggressive game here, and I can hardly move anything here. This is really bad now. Bishop probably coming in here, and then I can castle. I mean, do I take... Oh, okay, I can't. Now this one's coming, but my position was lost anyway. Nice opening idea from my opponent here, and I can... Oh, I can resign anyway there. 18 moves, but yeah, this was a night. I'm gonna have to have a look at that. I got totally screwed in the opening there. Let's put that in the computer. That was horrible. That was horrible. Let's have a look. So well played to my opponent there. Nice attacking game, but wow, I got absolutely destroyed in the opening, didn't I? Nasty. This knight h3, I'm gonna have to remember that idea. Let's have a look at the variations there. I don't think there was any way to defend that. It was just that pawn sacrifice. Lovely opening idea. At least that's, yeah, that was a steamroller. At least some of the things you learn from these losses is some great ideas. So for this second half now, well, we've got to try to win our next 3. Remember, if we're breaking it down, very impressive King's Indian attack. We're just trying to, I really want to do a review on that game, just see what I should play. Come on, let's see the review. And it seems to be a bit slow at the moment, but that was a nice game. Come on, looking for miss wins, evaluating position. So we'll try to bump up. Yeah, that was painful though. But I mean, I didn't see. As soon as my opponent moved the queen in, is it not working now? Why is it not working? As soon as it was funny, because as soon as my opponent got this position on move 10, I have to say, look, and the computer thinks that I'm actually just losing here already. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Actually, you know, because you don't expect to be losing by playing pretty natural moves. So this knight h3, nice idea, and the idea of this move is to just free up the f pawn to come through. So that's well worth remembering, right? So let's see. So okay, so here this is all right. This one, not sure I should be playing this here. Still not doing a review at the moment. Chess.com messing around. I don't know in future if I would play this pawn here. This is probably the wrong setup, because it allows this idea of f4, f5. So maybe I should just leave the pawn here because I get more control over f5. But I always go for the same sort of setup. So I really like this knight h3 idea though. I like this idea a lot. So okay, we went here. f4 does come. And now how do I play this position? Now if I take that pawn, I'm going to be a little bit worse because my opponent's knights have lovely control here. But maybe I have to take that pawn. Maybe there's nothing else I can do. So I played this normal move. But then after f5, my position is really horrible. And I probably have to play f6, but I don't like playing this move. I'm just going to be a little bit worse, because as soon as you grab the pawn here, queen here, and all of a sudden it's like I don't have many moves to play here. I mean, look, the computer says I have to castle, but I mean, castling is just going to lead to checkmate. When I went into this, I thought I could go knight d4. That's why I played this, but I suddenly realised there's no good defence to knight g5. Threatening checkmate here. And if I castle, I get checkmated here. And when I went into this, I thought I could play knight here, because it looks like everything's defended. But I suddenly realised that knight takes f7 is a killer blow. And if I take with a king on f7, then this one is going to win back all the material. And as you can see by the evaluation, I'm also just getting checkmated. So I think what I've got to learn from this, and again, you know, if you ever lose a horrible game, just make sure you don't lose the same horrible game twice. That in this system, which I play quite a lot, if white ever puts the knight on h3, don't play the e5 and d6 setup. Just try to avoid doing that. So if I had this again, I'd be going like bishop here. Let's say white does the same kind of thing. Let's just check the game that started. I would develop, and let's say again we get the same kind of thing. And if white ever plays f4, just don't play e5. Just castle here. And this would be much more sensible, because then if f5 is played, I can take with the e pawn, right? And this should be give me much. Well, it gives me. I mean, I'm probably just a pawn up now because I've got that extra protection, so I stop all those attacking ideas. But That was a nice game from my opponent. He played it pretty perfectly as well. That's why if we put it on the review, which is not working still, can we do that again? Let's just see if we can see. I wonder what my opponent may be like 100% review, right? Let's see. 100. It should be. I mean, he played pretty perfectly in that game. But the one. I mean, my opponent played great after this. Let's have a look. So after I tried to give a pawn back to close my position, and there's just nothing I can do to defend here. Okay. We do have the review now, and look at him. Well, when your opponent does a 98% game, you can't really do anything. 98% accuracy. That's and look at that. He just played perfectly. Good game. That's like, I have to say, brilliant game from my opponent. GChess is still going. Chess Drinker, I don't know why you would say no more GChess. It is still going. I just don't have a lot of time to. I've got black again. I'm getting lots of double blacks. Why am I getting? How many blacks have I had? Okay, that's annoying. We get black again. So how many? I mean, it seems like I've had 2 whites and 4 blacks. Chess.com really hates me nowadays. Screw you, Chess.com, and giving me lots of blacks. And we got 3 out of 5 points. Okay, so. But we're getting another Dutch, and we love the Dutch, don't we? So we're okay. We're okay. So we need to win this one and the next 3 to have a dream of coming in the top 10 again. So I'm going to stick to the classical Dutch. I'm glad. Come on, we got to Dutch him up. We got a classical Dutch him up, and I'm going to go main line. Knight e4 is the main stuff, and I think already this position is even. At least I like black's position here because I'm getting this pawn push in most scenarios. For example, here, this is all in my Dutch books and my Dutch courses, and I think now I had this against Shearoff once, and I got a good position, but I lost. But that's because Shearoff's a lot better player than me, obviously. But I looked at this setup quite a lot, and again, with the standard idea of the queen coming over here, it can be right. Hello, Loz. How you doing? You right? Good to see you, Loz. Now, I've got 2 ways of moving this. This one, he goes here. I can also come back. I can't remember which one is better. They're both probably quite attractive here. Actually, I'm just going to keep it sensible and come back. And I've now got the better pawn structure. He's got to go here anyway, as well. Now, do we take here or do we not take there? This is the question. Taking and bringing the bishop out makes some sense, but I like pushing on generally. Or do we just? I'm again. I don't know why I'm slowing up here. Okay, I'm going to go here. I've had this stuff loads of times before. I should be moving quicker than I am. I was wondering if I'm allowing c6 now, which I don't really want to allow. I mean, I generally like these positions because I'm going to play this move because in the long run, these 2 pawns give me kingside attacking ideas. Now, I'm wondering about c6, but I'm not fearing it totally because my knight can always come into c5. c6, my queenside pieces do look bad, but I might then get some chance to attack his king on that side of the board. So taking here is now positionally good for me if I can get a rook here and plant my knight there. One tactic I've fallen into before is just knight takes e5 and d6. So I've really got to watch out for that, especially when the queen... Okay, the queen is now attacking my knight. And knight here, he will take that piece. If I move my queen to defend my knight, he will get this tactic in. I don't think his bishop is a very good piece. So I'm going to keep my knight. But does that allow takes and d6? Okay, I'm gonna go here. I've changed my mind. I'm just keeping it simple. But now he gets this blockade, and this is probably about even, this position, because my dark square bishop you could claim is a very bad piece, and I can't really play on the king side anymore because I don't have enough pieces to do anything over there. So this is why I'm transferring here. So now I can take here, but then he has at least a draw after bishop takes. And the queen coming in here. So, I mean, taking here is still quite tempting, but that knight is very strong. I've got to move quicker. I'm moving too slowly here. So I could take on c3. That was something I was considering, but the issue is if he comes in here, he has at least a draw, but this one is queen's coming in anyway. But a draw is, I don't know. I mean, I have to. Otherwise, I'm just worse, right? And he probably won't take the draw anyway, right? I mean, otherwise I'm worse with that queen coming in. So, okay, well, I think we're gonna have to do this. Actually, I've miscalculated, I think, here. As par usual. Because he might have a queen here check, and he takes here. I should have not played rook b8. Ah, dear. Okay, this is annoying. So I've missed that he has queen e6 check, and he's going to win his piece back, which is very annoying. This is why I needed to not swap rooks, because I need to go rook here, but now I can't do this. So the last couple of games have been pretty bad, haven't they, for me? As in, I have been struggling somewhat, and well, I was losing there anyway. So, oh, that was a bad game. Again, my opponent played well, but let's have a think. So I really had a nice opening there, but this whole knight coming here, I'm not sure about this move. I wanted to play knight here, but I was worried about knight takes e5. And then if I take it, I was worried about this move. But maybe I just should play this. Maybe this is not too worrying. Take here, and then I thought he could go rook here. But I do get a lot of pieces if I just take here. I was kind of like should have gone for this. I think I get loads of pieces for the queen. This would have been, yeah, because as soon as I move my knight into c5, I feel maybe I'm even a little bit worse. And again, I played a couple of bad moves. So in this position, well, I mean, I don't know if I am worse really, but my queen coming this way, it needs to stay on the king side. This is also very, very bad, and I fell apart very quickly here. Knight d2, just play something like queen here, but the problem is, the reason I think I might be worse is this bishop's very bad, so the whole point of moving my knight there is not good. Okay, let's see if the computer is working now. And a couple of small inaccuracies there led to some major problems. So let's see if the review can work. And again, my opponent's playing very, very well with a 91% accuracy, but we can go into around about this part here, and well, b6, yeah, I mean b6 is unnecessary because my knight's always on pre, and the computer likes f4. And why am I not just playing this move, which I often like playing anyway, and just get on with the attack, g5? I'm playing a little bit too... One thing I'll find sometimes when I'm doing these Title Tuesday, I actually play a little bit too passively. And I don't know why I play so passively. This is much more to the point. But okay, b6 is not a horrible blunder. And now the computer thinks that knight c7 is best, and it must be best. No, knight c7 must be best though. I want to keep this file open towards his pawn, and I expect here he would just play knight d2 anyway, but this is a much better version than the game because he can't get in on the queen side, and I got long-term chances here. I actually quite like black here, just queen d7. Now, would this have been a tactic? I don't think this was working. No, it's just good for me. It's easy afterwards to see, but after d6, I can just take this, and none of the tactics work for him. But actually, if I spent a little bit longer on the clock, I'd have seen this. I mean, if he ever takes on a8, I've got far too many pieces by capturing there. And what else does he do? I've got a very nice position. If he goes here, well, I'm going to have, again, far too many pieces here, whatever he captures. So, yeah, so my first mistake, again, knight a6 is okay. Would it have been better to move the knight to a5 here? Maybe this is a slightly better square because my knight can come into c4. That must be a better square. And after, okay, the computer doesn't think so, but we don't always agree with that. probably also okay, but this is good. And then if I get this again, just play f4, right? Just put this pawn here. When I mean, I should be knowing these Dutch positions by now, pretty 100% well, but you still have to remind yourself occasionally when the memory fails you. And I kind of now, I mean, it says now that this moves an inaccuracy. This is how I was it a little bit later. So okay, so knight here is fine, and then after bishop 8 here, then we play f4. This is a better move order because we put his bishop a little bit offside where it's not defending here anymore. And if he takes here, I can always take my rook, and this way I'm going to get a nice attack with a standard idea of my queen coming in. Okay, right, so we really need to now, after a couple of losses, well, we need to win the next two, right? Definitely, to have a chance more than the next two. So I'm going to go back to playing the English opening, and time to get my openings sorted again. Okay, here. This is the only one move again which I never used to play g3 as a kid. I always played knight to f3, and I think here you've got to play, is it d3, but I can't remember where you play it. Do you take here first? Let's take here first, and I think this is the theory move, d3, but not 100% sure. It's a bit like a reverse c3 Sicilian, but I've got the extra tempo with this. And now it feels like I should be better here, because his pawn on e4 looks more of a weakness than a strength, especially when the queens come off the board, right? And his king could be misplaced, so this is looking okay, this position. So let's get rid of that one. And which one? Bishop here, or do I attack that pawn straight away? I think we're going to play bishop here, because why not give my rook the opportunity to come in, and then my knight might be able to come in here, because he's going to... Okay, so now I can castle, and my knight doesn't have to come back to this passive square. It has more options of going forwards. So we're going to get that castling with check. I've got my fan on here. It's still bloody boiling in England, but the bloody fan is misbehaving. It should be pointing at my face. At my face. Not swiveling around. Come on, fan. I remember if I did the last Title Tuesday, I kind of sat like this, right? So we could just do this as well. Now, do I have this knight coming in? Hello. This looks scary, doesn't it? Can he really put his king there? I don't believe it. Let's use a bit of knight power. Oh, he can't survive this. Really? He can't survive this. I've got so many tempting moves. Knight here. I've got too many good moves. This is my problem. Knight here. I've got... I mean, what? Knight here. Which one do I play? There's too many good moves here, guys. This is my only problem in the position. Too many good moves. Knight here, rook a7. I mean, Jesus, I'm actually getting confused because there is literally too many good moves here. But what is the best one to play? Knight takes knight is another move. Oh, I don't know. Okay, maybe I should just grab this rook. And I don't think I'm okay. Let's keep it simple. Let's go here and grab the rook. But I'm also thinking, when he takes this knight, do I come here, check, and take the other one? What one do I take? But then his rook comes down here, which shouldn't be scary. So check here, takes here. His rook's not going to do any damage. So I think I probably take this one. Yeah? I think I probably take this one, because then my knight keeps attacking his other two pieces. That makes more sense. Okay, he's only attacking me with bishop. Okay, so he's gone here. Wow. But now we will... I mean, there's other moves here, which knight takes here and threatens bishop e7 checkmate. I mean, that is very tempting as well, but let's not get carried away. Let's just do that. And get confused with these. Get rid of the bishops? Maybe. I feel like I haven't played the best line somehow. I still haven't played the best line. It feels like my advantage should be bigger than this, right? Which is I'm actually now not going to take the exchange because it's a little bit trickier to play. My advantage should have been much bigger than this. Certainly haven't played the best line here. And now I've only got the 2 bishops advantage. Really not putting the ball in the back of the net today, am I? This is just a game of chess now, the way I've played it. I could have kept the rook, but I was getting a bit scared about his pieces. Okay, let's get this one out of dodge. Should be a little bit better still, but not has to be not anything massive here. Not a big advantage as I hoped, and my time is low as well. I mean, I say it should be a little bit better because we have the 2 bishops, but I had everything before. I mean, too many options. What should I have done? Is it equal now? Maybe it's equal now. I don't know. Could be equal. Equal, maybe slight advantage to me. I say slight advantage because of the bishop pair, but I'm not convinced that is true. How do we play this one? If we come here, he just goes pawn on, which he's playing anyway. And now I feel this guy should try to reroute a start. Okay, so we're gonna try and get more bishops if we can. Should be winning a pawn. And time is not your friend, Simon. So keep it safe. My position is rock solid. But what are we doing next? This one, got to watch out for this pawn. And what are we doing here, Simon? Not losing on time. Let's just move quickly. We are a pawn up. We've got to watch out for this one coming. How am I getting my bits in? Okay, he's going opposite coloured bishop. Now this knight is really bad, but okay, let's try and get rid of the opposite coloured bishops. And that pawn is scaring me a lot. Fuck's sakes. Get in front of this one. Pretty terrible game again. Very annoying. Look at this. I'm going to lose this game now. Oh, I think we're going to have a... Oh, that was awful. Started so well. I've had enough. I'm doing my normal rage quitting. That was horrible. I mean, the way I played that. Jesus, that's enough. I'm out of there. Well fought back, but even in the ending, oh, what a string of losses there. Let's just, before I go, I will have a check to see, just, come on computer, what is, I mean, so many ways to win. I mean, let's just use the human eye here. Look at this, look at this, look at this graph, how depressing. And after he goes here, what was the simplest way? Well, actually, everything I played seemed to be all right there. It seemed to work out this, but okay, this check is all right. He has to play here. This is okay, but this one not so okay. But now, why don't I just keep my rook? I mean, this is still okay for me. And then when I got okay, but this is not so great. It wasn't actually as completely amazing as it should be. It's completely amazing. And what I should play is just move the rook back. There's no reason not to to give the exchange up. And this one, but my advantage, it just seemed like it should be more than 1.35. Should be more than 1.35, surely. I mean, look at this lovely position here. What other ways can I win this then? So I put my knight into b6. Yeah, this one I couldn't. Bizarre. Oh, I've got bishop e3. Ah, bishop e3 is the move I missed. So, for example, after he moves his rook, I was only looking at using my knights here, but I can just simply come back and trap that one there. So that would be the way to finish him off there, really. Too many good moves. All right, well, we tried, but we failed. It went horribly wrong in the middle there. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you want to contact me, just use my website address, simon@gingergm.com. It's the best way to contact me. Let's give someone a raid, someone who can actually play the title Tuesday, and I'll try to be a little bit more on the ball next time. We're fine. Try to find someone to raid now. I don't know any of these guys though, who are streaming. Okay, let's give a raid to. Is she live? Okay, let's give a raid over here. And thank you very much for watching. I'm now going to rest up after Norway, try to get some energy back, and we'll be back with some more chess soon. Hopefully we can keep the activity of play up in the later stages. And cheers for now. Have a good time.